So if you're an educational YouTuber and you want to build a six-figure business around your educational YouTube channel, then it's not easy, but it's also not as complicated as you might think. So if you're new here, my name is Tintin and I help educational YouTubers like you build six-figure businesses around your YouTube channel. That's just what I do, it's what I spend my time focused on. And in this video, we're going to be going through 3 key ideas that you need to think about and be focused on if you want to work towards that outcome. So the first key idea that we're going to go through is very simple. It's just teach a transformation. So in the world of business, we want to be taking people from A to B. Every product that you've ever bought gives you some kind of transformation in your life. Whether it's a bed, whether it's a service of some kind, like mowing your lawn, you get this transformation going from A to B. And we want to get really good at teaching a transformation. So a good example of this is taking someone from having never played the guitar to a beginner guitarist. And that's going from A to B, from no guitar knowledge to beginner guitarist and some guitar knowledge. That's a transformation. And the more specific we can get about that transformation that we're teaching, the better off we'll be. So we want to be in this business of teaching people how to make a specific transformation in their life. And basically we want to teach people how to make that transformation for free on YouTube. Then we also want to collect emails and build an email list where we also talk about making that transformation. And we also want to have paid products that help people make that same transformation, but with more support, more guidance, more accountability built in. And it's a very simple formula there. So it's not easy to do those things, but it's also not that complicated. We've just got 3 layers there: YouTube, email, and products. And each one helps people make the same transformation. And we just get really, really good at delivering one specific transformation to our students and to our viewers. But in order to be able to teach a transformation, you need to have experienced that transformation in your own life. So some examples of what this could look like is going from not being in university to getting into university, in a specific university potentially. Or it could be going from not having a job to having a job. Or it could be not knowing how to do something like playing the guitar to knowing how to play the guitar. And then you just make lots of YouTube videos about that specific topic. But obviously not every transformation that you've experienced in your life is something that is monetizable or that you can build a business around. So we need to tick these 3 key boxes. 1 is something that you actually have experience in and skills in and have experienced a transformation in. The second thing is that it needs to be something that we're actually interested in and passionate about, because if we're not, then we're going to give up. So we actually need to be really interested in the thing that we're teaching, something that we want to learn more about and actually help people do. And then the third thing is that there needs to be demand for it and it needs to be monetizable. So more things are actually monetizable than you might expect, but it needs to tick those 3 key boxes. And a really simple way to find out whether that's true or not is just to have a look around and see if other people are doing it already, because that's often actually a good indicator that it's something you should pursue. If no one's ever made money on the internet doing this, then it's probably not a good sign that you should go and pursue it, and the odds are probably stacked against you. But the evidence of this doesn't actually have to just be on YouTube. If you can find a business somewhere that helps people experience this transformation, whether it's teaching people how to learn calligraphy, whether it's teaching people how to become a live sound engineer or something random like that, and if you can find a business somewhere that actually helps people make that transformation, then it's a viable business model for you to pursue on YouTube. So that's key idea number 1. It's just teach a transformation. Help people get a certain outcome through your YouTube videos and your products, and make everything you do about helping people achieve that outcome. And if you do that, you can build a 6-figure business. So moving on to key idea number 2, and that is aim straight at it. So if you want to build a 6-figure business through YouTube, then do nothing else and take off the blindfold and actually just aim straight at it. It sounds really obvious, but when people set goals, they often set a kind of goal and then just do lots of other random things that they don't actually need to be doing. And they don't think about what are the actual specific activities they need to do to get to that outcome, and cut out everything else. So I run a coaching program helping people build 6-figure businesses through their educational YouTube channel. And if you want to learn more about it, you can join my email list down below. And inside the program, we talk a lot about this diagram, the energy diagram from the book Essentialism by Greg McKeown. And at the top of that right-hand side of the diagram, we want to put $100,000. And what this diagram represents is focus and not doing too many things and just going straight towards the outcome that you're actually looking for. So that means getting rid of your ego. It means taking yourself out of the equation and just figuring out the key activities to get to that outcome. And what that looks like normally is figuring out one key core offer for your audience and building your YouTube channel around that core offer. Basically, there's nothing else that we really need to be doing other than these 3 things: making YouTube videos, writing emails, and making our offer and product incredible. That's basically it. So YouTube and emails is about finding people that we can help and building a relationship with them, providing value so that they trust us. and then ultimately having a paid offer that is a really good offer and then a really good product. That's it. Is there anything else that we think we need to be doing to move forwards? Like making sure that we're posting short form content on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, keeping our Facebook community up to date, or starting a podcast or running our podcast, all these random things that we might think we need to be doing, or making videos about a different topic just because we want to explore our interests. Obviously, we want to be having fun, but also we just want to aim straight at the outcome that we're trying to work towards and then work backwards from the goal. So be really honest with yourself. Are you actually doing a bunch of things you don't need to be doing to get towards this outcome? It's quite possible that you are. So that is key idea number 2. It's just aim straight at it. Sounds really basic and simple, but it's true. So make sure you focus on that. The third key idea here is to embrace experimentation. Again, very straightforward and very simple, but very hard to do in reality. What I mean is the path ahead is not going to be clear. So even though the journey to building a 6-figure business might be reasonably clear and straightforward, and I even have a roadmap for it, which I will be sharing more details on soon. But even though it's clear what to do, sometimes it's not obviously going to map directly to your situation, your context, and your business. And the only way forwards is just to experiment. It's just to embrace failure and not treat it as failure, but as only as an opportunity to learn and iterate. You figure out the things that don't work and then move forwards to the things that do. And it's so easy to think this is like a really trivial thing, but actually treating everything you do in your business as an experiment, especially when you're at the early stages, it's just so valuable. When you're at $1 million in revenue, and treating things as an experiment is like a more dangerous mindset because you don't want to mess things up that are working. But when you're at $0 in revenue, or even a few tens of thousands, and things aren't really working that to a significant degree yet, we want to embrace experimentation because we want to figure out what works. That's really, really important. And to figure out what works, you have to figure out what doesn't work. And it could be that you have to launch a course, go through that whole process, launch some kind of online course, and realize that actually doesn't really work for your audience. And that's okay. It doesn't matter if you go through that process and you realize that it wasn't actually the best route for you to build a 6-figure business. But the upside is that you learned a ton about what works and what doesn't, and you can take those learnings and move forwards. So a big thing here is persistence. And you just have to kind of continue experimenting your way to 6 figures. That's basically the only approach, is you have to experiment your way there. You can reverse engineer your way to building a bigger business, but ultimately, no matter the level of the entrepreneur, there are going to be things that do work and don't work on the journey. And there's no way of figuring them out without testing them out in the first place. So embrace experimentation is just so fundamental. It's just been like a massive part of my journey this year as an entrepreneur, but also over the past couple of years, I've done a bunch of side hustles, and embracing this mindset of experimentation has just helped me at every step. It's made everything less stressful. It's made everything less of a big deal. It's just like, I don't need to find the answers. I don't need to have everything solved. I'm just trying something. I'm just experimenting. And then I can find the answer to my questions that way. Then I can figure out the next move from there. It doesn't need to work this time. Everything doesn't need to be perfect. I just need to move forwards and experiment. So those are 3 really foundational, simple ideas that I hope you take forwards into your business. Teacher transformation, aim straight at $100,000. Don't do anything that doesn't help you get closer, and embrace experimentation. Those 3 things are just like massively foundational to getting towards this outcome. So this is what I'm now dedicated to, is helping educational YouTubers build bigger businesses. And if you want to know why I am focused on this, then you can check out this video here, which is my first video back on the channel. But thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.